Hey everyone, so today I would like to share something really helpful for you guys also. Always, like my channel is always meant for giving you some valuable content, definitely. But coming to today's video, we are going to talk about something that's going to help you change your life. I mean, definitely, when I it's like when I basically I'm going to talk about what books I'm reading as of now. So these books like genuinely changed my life for the better. They've educated me in a way that no school or no course online or no, like, I mean, it's more than like a it's basically like a whole life experience in that book that has taught me more than what many people of my age like really know. So like coming to that, so these books are like basically like my gurus, I would say, because they've taught me like pretty much a lot about how business works and how influence and power works. So the first book I would say on top of my list as of now is the 48 Laws of Power. If you can see this, so I'm pretty sure you would have heard this book. It's written by John Green. He's a very famous author, and I've also listened to his podcasts on what he really meant by each law of power in the like 48 laws of powers in this book. So basically, this book is all about how power is used as a medium to it's like an ability that you have to make decisions. That's like the main idea of power. So like all these laws are like beautifully explained by him, and some of which I didn't instantly get because the meaning behind it is a lot deeper than what
There
we
are
can
no
think of.
timers set.
Okay. That was my Alexa now, man. So I actually set a timer about when to start the video, but I started a bit early, so never mind. Coming to this, yeah, so like every law in this book has not. I didn't really understand the laws in the beginning because it was really hard to comprehend. But as I kept stressing on the words of what he really meant, like he basically is like a big believer in storytelling in the most effective way. Like he tries to narrate a story in a way that people can like imagine and process and then understand how this law is really influencing that whole situation there. So basically, it is it is like an amazing book, to be honest. You should actually buy it on Amazon. I think it'll just be like probably, yeah, I got it for like 2.99. It's quite cheap, not too expensive. But yeah, it's a great book that I would suggest you guys to buy it. And coming to the next book, um, this is one of my favorite financial advisors named Robert Kiyosaki. And I love his book, and I'm currently reading it actually. I don't know which page I'm in. I think I lost my bookmark. So afterwards, it'll be a hard time finding that page again. But yeah, I would like not be sad to read this over again because it's just too good to read. Like, I mean, the reason why I say it is because like no financial guru, none of like your whoever like at school, none of the people at school can ever teach you like how he's teaching you. It's like no matter what economics class you go, no matter where you like which webinar you attend, you might even attempt the best webinar in the whole country. But I would guarantee you that the books, knowledge, and the books he has written are just simply historic, bro. It's like you can learn so much of knowledge, so much of financial understanding, and he has also like changed millions of lives from bankruptcy to all the way to like becoming a millionaire. Some people, so I would just really admire this guy because he's making a very big change in the society of how you should be educated enough to manage your finances, which is a very crucial thing that everyone needs to have. And I believe not having that finances is like the most stupidest decision that anyone could make. I would say that though you're like even a millionaire or a billionaire in the future, let's say if you're having all the money in the world, if you still can't manage your finances, you might even go broke tomorrow. So the main idea behind the whole finances understanding is it's like it's like a mandatory thing for anyone to live a happy life, because without your financial understanding, you are basically not gonna survive for long. I mean, you might like, I mean, like financially it'll be like very hard to like live. So I really stress on myself on gaining as much as financial knowledge as possible, because it helps me a lot to prepare for the future. I know I'm quite young, but I'm still like 11th grade, but I think I'm still ready for understanding that stuff, because sooner or later I'll end up in the real world. Like, I'll end up with all the real problems that every common man has to face. So I'm always want to be prepared by educating myself and following the guidance of the greats like Robert Kiyosaki and John Green. So, and one more amazing book, I would say. Actually, I would change. This is like in the top of my list. It's a book which is unofficially a biography of Elon Musk. So basically, why do I say unofficially the biography of Elon Musk? So basically, the author himself said that Elon Musk didn't agree to writing his biography from this guy named Ashley Vance. But regardless of what he said, he still tried to understand what his entire life was by exploring and knowing and talking to the people he knows. And, like, he has found every single thing that he could understand about his life without even asking him. So this is an unofficial biography where Elon Musk really didn't contribute anything, but like it's like a self what do you call self project which made by Ashley Vance about how he portrayed Elon Musk as the next like he's like I see him like a visionary, honestly, because ever since like I really started and stepped into the entrepreneurial field and like how to like start your business and all, I always saw him as like a person who takes a lot of risk. He's a great risk taker, and he's a very smart guy. Like, I really like to listen to his podcast. I really like to understand what his worldviews are, because knowing stuff that could help, like he just tells all these stuff which genuinely help you to understand better about the world, like about business. Like, let's say now he works in like SpaceX and Tesla. He owns the two companies and a bunch of other companies, which I mean, like they're countless. I kind of like lost the count of how many companies he also has. So yeah, the point is, he's a very experienced person in the business field and has been sticking around for nearly almost 40 years now, and has recently been crowned as like the richest man in the world also. That was like a great accomplishment, and I'm really like he's one of my role models, I would say, because I see him as someone who takes risks and is a wise decision maker and would like to impose leadership in the most prosperous way possible. And that's what a leader needs to have. He needs to have patience. He needs to have determination. He needs to have the persistence, and he needs to have everything that a leader needs to have. Like, if you go on, I could still talk about how he should be friendly with his peers, how he has to manage employees, like everything. So basically, he has every leadership quality I could think of, and yeah, so he carries like a certain positive attitude around him that makes people work even harder, I feel. And like whenever I listen to his podcast and talk, I see him in like big TEDx talks and like speaking about what he really wants in the future, what he wants to do for the humanity. I just feel like he's like the people who thinks bigger and broader, in like a broader perspective. They are trying to change humanity's life for the better and for the good, on a long term scale. So, yeah, that's basically what I understand from him. And one more book which I actually thought of reading, but I really didn't start. But I could say that so like there's a digital copy of the same book. It's called Testing Business Ideas. Let me just get it for you. Sorry to get it. Now, mind. So basically, this is a book by David J. Bland. It's called Testing Business Ideas. You might just take a photo of it maybe and post like just um, image search on Google. Maybe you'll find it. So it's like a book about what an entrepreneur needs to do before even considering a business idea. I feel this is like a very crucial step that every person needs to focus, because what I think is whenever you start something, whenever you think of an idea, understand why other people can't do it, or what's the problem with doing that. Because always, like, you should, I feel like sometimes you should, it's good to criticize yourself so that you can like you can just cut it off and um, like categorize it as a dumb idea. Because sometimes thinking too optimistic is good, but if it crosses the limit, like by thinking, if when we are like thinking too optimistic, we might end up hitting the reality of whether or not the idea is really good. Because like later on, if you think this idea is not good and you work on a project and you spend a lot of money, firstly you lose time, which is a bigger thing than money also. Because without time, there's no point in even like doing anything. It's like you need to utilize your time in the most effective. I can't like emphasize, like, the main point of any business is to do fast. You need to scale fast, you need to build fast. And I know people who prefer to do like a long term slow business, and I'm okay with that. But the point is, always look for ways in which you can change the world for today, now and then, and also focus on how this could stretch to the future. So like never, like always think of what you could do today and how you could make an impact today. Don't think too much on the future, and don't think too much on what you could do in the next 20 years, because that's not the focus now. The focus is what you are doing now. What are you really trying to do? So for doing that, there are like a couple of experiments in this book which is suggested by David J. Bland. So what he says is, whenever you think of an idea, try to like talk to your peers first, which is a very common thing, I think everyone does. And like try to like use a post-it strategy where maybe like a brainstorming session, or like where like you bring all like a group of critics, I would say, like a people who like don't like I would say like bring people who don't like the idea of doing a business, assuming I don't know like who doesn't. But the point is, let's say if you have a person who disagrees, that's the single best thing that could ever happen to you. The reason is, he will tell you honestly about what is genuinely wrong with that idea, or why do you should not consider doing that. I mean, he might be wrong sometimes, because, but like I would say most of the times, like 90% of the times, every time I make think of an idea, I go up to someone who disagrees with it, and I talk more with that person rather than a person who agrees with it, because I can learn more and like different perspectives from that person who disagrees with it. Because, and that's crucial in every business. Just think of him like a person who like a potential investor, assuming like he's an investor. He would ask the same question about why should I consider this idea, given that there are these many problems, these many loopholes. Why should I even consider it? So that's really important for you to understand that every idea is not going to work, and you have to go through all the hard work and all the hardship in order to come up with some great and amazing ideas and thoughts that could shape the world, reshape the world for their forever, basically. So yeah, and I would also say that when I was discussing about Swansea, when I was like building Swansea, I always ask my friends about what could go wrong. The reason, I mean, see, I would not say it's like the most advisable thing, but I think it worked for me, because my friends were like really happy in giving a constructive feedback to me about what I could improve and why should I, what will happen in the future. Because it really helps me think like a forward looking person and understand the realities in a more customer centric point of view. Because your customers are like your king in every business. No matter what business you go, you'll have a customer. be it a business, be it a normal consumer, or anyone. Let's say if you're doing D2C or direct to customer, that's like when you have the general public as your customer. So knowing from the general public is extremely important on whether or not they really need that product or really need that service. So that's what I feel is very important. And let's say now your customer is a business. Let's consider you're building a maybe like a or like let's say if you're building one system for a business to manage its internal operations, okay, and this business, let's say, might be like it's a fully offline business, and it wants to have a system which can track its sales records and track its employees productivity and their level of productivity, and based on that it's like a paper work model, maybe I could say. So based on that they can get paid the most effectively, and like because that helps improve productivity and helps us monitor what is really happening in the business, and that's what they want. The reason why they came up with that idea is they are lacking the vision or like the visibility of all of what is happening in the business, from marketing to product development, what is exactly happening. So in order to understand that, there's an idea there, but why do I need to build it? First, come up with like endless questions. Come up with every single question in your mind about why should I consider this. Because like just think like a common human, why would I consider this idea? Because if you don't think like that, you'll always end up like, I would say, not thinking like that is like very scary and like harmful for you only, because at the end of the day you are gonna again end up in like the zero again. So we should be very careful with that stuff. So yeah, that, and it has taught me like a lot about these business experiments, which I considered doing on like many people who I know. So that, I mean, it's not like an experiment. Um, I'm not trying to make it like an experiment where like they asked to join this experiment. It's just like a silent way of understanding what could have been done better. Why should I consider like something alternatively much better? So yeah, that's the main idea behind this whole book called Testing Business Ideas. So far I am reading those books. Basically, I get time to read these books pretty much in the weekend only. I don't get time reading in the school time because I have other stuff to work on, like my course, and I have to also spend time with my friends, right? So that stuff, and yeah, I also was thinking of reading newspaper every day. I don't know why. I just feel like I should cultivate the habit of reading, because ever since like I was a kid, I didn't really like the idea of reading for like 2 hours, 3 hours. So I just preferred action over like slow reading and all that stuff. So that really, I think like reading the newspaper maybe for like 10 minutes every day could maybe like just improve my, maybe like I'll find new words that could help me improve my communication and all that stuff.